Hello everyone! Today we'll talk about work vocabulary. You might not know, but many English courses take ages to tell students about work vocabulary, which I think it's like crazy because you will use these words and expressions that I'm going to teach you on a weekly or monthly basis and sometimes even on a daily basis, okay? The first thing I want to tell you is about sick leave, annual leave, maternity leave. Okay, these are three very important expressions for your work vocabulary. First of all, when you are on sick leave, I'm on sick leave, or request a sick leave. For example, let's say that you are very sick. You, God forbid, you got corona, okay? So you are going to request a sick leave. Okay, and probably your boss, your managers, they will say, okay, of course, because you are sick, you have the right to be sick, right? So they will give you a sick leave. So you will say, I'm on sick leave. I'm on sick leave. Be careful with the word leave. Leave. If you say like this, live, you are saying correctly, okay? Because EA is a schwa, so it's like a schwa movement. You don't know anything that I'm talking about, but anyway, just ignore it. If you know a little bit, if you know a tad about phonetics, English phonetics, you might know what a schwa is. Okay, schwa is when you cut the sound. But anyway, you don't need to know all these technicalities. Just come with me. You have to say leave with your mouth wide open. Leave. Pretend you're smiling. Leave. Look at the difference. Live, live, leave, leave. The sound comes from this part over here, okay? It does not come from here. It comes from this part, like your throat. So you have to say leave, leave. Look at my little bacon here, okay? So I'm on sick leave. The same thing goes for maternity leave. If you're a mother, and here in the UK, you have the right to spend, I think, 3, 4, 5 months without working, but still getting paid. I have to check the details, but I'm pretty sure you can. You are on maternity leave. I'm on maternity leave. Okay? Now, the most important one is the annual leave. Annual leave. And then you must be thinking like, what is annual leave, Raíza? What is that? So annual leave is you have 28 days. If you are on a normal job with a formal employment, okay, like myself, I work for the University of Leeds, so I have a formal contract, okay? Actually, I think all types of contracts are like this, I'm not sure. But like usually the contracts in the UK, they are like this. You have 28 days of annual leave. What does that mean? You have 28 days where you can have as holidays, okay, and you will still get paid. This is your annual leave, okay? Now, of course, you will decide with your boss when you can take that annual leave, when you can be like on holidays, all right? But when you mention, for example, in emails, like, oh, okay, eu tô de férias, you will say, I'm on leave, or I'm on annual leave. Because annual leave means férias. Momento bilíngue. Momento bilíngue. Muitos de vocês vão perguntar, mas Raíza, por que não é holidays ou por que não é vacation? Primeiramente que vacation é americano, tá? Não é usado aqui no UK. Segundo, por que não pode ser I'm on holidays? Porque assim, holidays é uma palavra muito abrangente. E dentro do ambiente de trabalho, o leave, quando você fala I'm on annual leave, você tá dando a entender pra pessoa que tá lendo ou que tá escutando que você está tirando um daqueles 28 dias, né? I'm on holidays é muito... tô aí, pardeando, é muito informal, entendeu? Então, assim, não. Tanto que no trabalho, onde eu trabalho na universidade, toda vez que alguém está de férias, a pessoa escreve lá na mensagem automática, olha, I'm so sorry for the delay, I will get back to you when I come back from my annual leave, or I'm on annual leave, ok? Então, I'm on annual leave. Se você for procurar a tradução de leave, leave pode ser várias coisas. Eu acho, assim, bem complicado, embora eu esteja falando português agora no momento com vocês, Tem coisas no inglês que eu prefiro não traduzir. E eu acho que essa coisa, assim, eu sou tradutora, gente. E eu passei anos da minha vida só traduzindo. E assim, eu vejo que de algumas formas me afetou isso, assim, no processo de pegar a fluência da língua. Então, eu recomendo, assim, você pode usar a tradução até determinado momento, certo? Tem coisas que eu não recomendo, e isso é uma delas. Então, assim, please, não tente não olhar no dicionário. Você só tem que saber que o leave, além de deixar, que você pode falar, I left the building, eu saí do prédio, I left my house, eu saí de casa. O leave também é, neste termo de trabalho, neste ambiente de trabalho, significa férias, ou licença maternidade, ou licença médica. Sick leave, maternity leave, annual leave. Okay? Let's go to the next one. The next expression that I'm going to teach you is staggering shifts. Staggering shifts. I repeat, staggering shifts. Now, during the pandemic and even afterwards, because next year, many people might come back to work, like actually going to work, physically going to work, but not everybody will be able to stay together as we used to. Okay, so for instance, at the university that I work for, usually we have like 100 people working in the same building. When we come back from holidays, it's not like all the 100 people that I used to work with will be able to just share the space, because we still have a virus like happening, going on, you know, just in the middle of us, and we don't know. So we will have staggering shifts, which means we'll have times and days where a certain group can go and where the other group can go. So for example, I'll be part of the team C, so I will have a schedule. Okay, by the way, I'll talk about this word in a moment. I'll have a schedule, okay, of the days and times where I'm supposed to be going to the university, and I will have a schedule of days I'm supposed to work from home. So there is a big difference. So Team C will only go to the university on Mondays and Tuesdays, and then TB is going on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then Team A is gonna go on Fridays. Just an example. So these are staggering shifts. It's when you when you take turns to do something. But staggering shifts is used only at the work environment, okay? And be careful with this word stagger, because it has lots of different meanings. But for now, in this video, I'm going to talk only about work vocabulary and work expressions. So now you know what staggering shifts means. Vamos pro próximo. Now, the next work vocabulary that you need to know is, how do you talk about layoffs? Don't you know what layoff means? For example, during this pandemic, lots of people were laid off. So the noun is layoffs, and the verb is layoff. Okay, so in the past it's going to be laid off. So lots of people were laid off. What does that mean? It means, for instance, companies didn't have much money to afford that amount of employees in the company, and they had to fire these people. So these people were laid off. When a company doesn't have money to have these employees, it has to say bye-bye, okay? I'm so sorry, I cannot afford you being here. I have to lay you off. So to lay off is to say bye-bye to employees, okay? Be careful with the pronunciation of this word. Employees is not employer. No, employer is your boss. You're not the employer as far as I'm aware. Okay, you might be, but usually no, right? So you are an employee. So for example, I'm an employee of the university. These companies, they had to lay a lot of people off, okay? Unfortunately. And we have synonyms for this word, layoff. In American English, we can say fire. Fire. Yeah, fire. Fire. Right? But here in the UK, this word is not very used. Fire has a synonym in British English, which is sack. Sack. Yes. And sack is going to be used in a variety of ways. But usually, when someone is sacked, it can give you two meanings. It can be that the person was sacked because he or she did something wrong, Okay, so for example, I don't know, imagine that you work in a store and then you stole something, so you will be sacked, and because you did something wrong, right? Or sack can also be used in a context where the company doesn't have money and then it will have to sack you. Okay, so sack can have both meanings. All right, so we have lay off, which is like a formal way of saying, okay, I was laid off, okay, because the company doesn't have money anymore to have me as an employee, or I was sacked. And then we will probably ask you questions to know, okay, you were sacked because you did something wrong, you were sacked because, the company didn't have any money. What is the context behind this situation? So I'll give you a few examples. I can say, she got sacked for stealing. She got sacked for stealing. You can also say, well, he was sacked from his previous job. He was sacked from his previous job. You can use sack with both the verb be and the verb get, okay? It's just be is more formal, get is not that formal, okay? So we need to be careful with that. I'll give you another example. I can say, I've never been sacked from a job. I've never been sacked from a job, which means eu nunca fui demitida de trabalho, right? So you can use this in a variety of ways that we will be looking at during the exercises, okay? Don't worry about that too much for now. Now, the last one for this video is, how do you ask to quit, right? Probably you don't know what quit means, so momento bilíngue. Momento bilíngue. Como você pede demissão, okay? Of course, there are a variety of ways to say demissão, se demitir. Many people use quit, like I wanna quit, but this is really, really informal. And be careful, because quit is not the same as quiet, and it's not the same as quiet. These are three different words with complete different meanings, so be careful. Quit is se demitir, desistir, okay? But how do you say the same thing in a polite way, in a more formal way? Resign. So when you hand in your resignation letter to your boss, it means you want to quit. You want to resign. You can even tell them, like, I would like to resign. Here's my resignation letter. So resign, and resignation. These are very important vocabulary, because one day, who knows, you might want to resign from your job and you need to know these expressions, okay? So this is the first part of this video about work vocabulary, and we will be talking more about this soon.